It was about a 4-minute drive. You know, what you wanted to see early on was how the scheme and how the game plan was different from last year. You know, last year was a lot of shotgun, a lot of spread it out, a lot of, listen, let's be honest, that's pretty much the offense now. That's pretty much how the offense is in college football. I would say the majority of teams are starting to run that spread, and I think a lot of teams in the NFL are starting to really run that spread offense. This year, you heard that it was going to be different, and once again, it's just a measuring stick preseason. You want to see what they're doing, how they're doing it, and I thought they did a really good job of mixing up the run and pass. Everything that you basically expected out of Stefanski and Kubiak, you got. You got the up-the-middle runs, you've got the I formation, you got the 2 tight end set, you had CJ Ham, your fullback, leading the way in a lot of these situations, and then you start mixing in the bootlegs, the play action. Here's my thing on play action. I think that there's one, obviously, the normal play action, you take it from center, you fake the handoff, and you sit in the pocket. I don't particularly like that. I like seeing Kirk Cousins on bootlegs, rolling out to his right, and letting. He's very effective when he's able to play action from the left side and roll out to his right. He is very, very comfortable, and that's what I saw. The biggest thing out of Kirk yesterday was I saw his comfort. He just looked like it was natural to him. It looked like, you know, when you look at his highlights from Washington, a lot of his success is predicated on the play action. That's where he really gets into a groove. So I thought it was very, very smart and effective that Kubiak and Stefanski made sure that they're going to play these rollouts. So you can't really say much about that. And he also had a deep shot to Adam Thielen, and Thielen just doesn't seem like he misses a beat. A little underthrown, but Thielen just makes an unbelievable catch. Top 5 wide receiver, no debate. Also, I obviously there's a little sentimental stuff going on with Teddy Bridgewater. You know, he was our guy a couple years ago in 2015 before he went down. Here's what I'll say about Teddy. Now, he is an absolute great dude. He was a great, great player and a great person for that Vikings organization. But people have to calm down. Like, there's so many Viking fans that just swear by Teddy Bridgewater. Oh, my God, if only we had Teddy. Oh, if we had Teddy. Look, I mean, Teddy Bridgewater, he is what he is. He has not changed in the sense that he checks it down. He is throwing under routes to Michael Thomas all the time. He does not take a lot of shots deep down the field, you know. And to me, Teddy Bridgewater can win you a division, but he's not going to win you a Super Bowl. You know, this isn't a day and age now where there's no more Trent Dilfers. There's no more Joe Flacco's where you can just have your defense pretty much carry you the way. You have to be able to make those big plays. Now, the thing about Teddy that a lot of people love is, number one, his mobility is a lot better than Kirk Cousins. His athleticism is a lot better than Kirk Cousins. His pocket presence, I think, is a lot better. And he also limits his turnovers. You know, Kirk Cousins' biggest issue is his fumbles. He doesn't have good pocket presence. But to me, Teddy Bridgewater, look, is he going to take over after Drew Brees? I don't know. I don't even know if Sean Payton's going to be there. I think there's a lot of rumors swirling around that he might end up in Dallas. But Teddy Bridgewater, to me, nice quarterback, always going to be a tier 3, never going to be in the top 10, top 15 kind of guy. Can win you games if he has a really good team around him and a really good defense. But for me to sit and say, oh, man, we miss Teddy so much. Like, if I had to pick Kirk Cousins or Teddy Bridgewater, it's Kirk Cousins. Obviously not the ideal financial deal that you'd want with Kirk Cousins. But if you had to sign one of them for the same amount of money, I'm still taking Kirk Cousins. I mean, that's just the bottom line. A couple other guys that stuck out to me. The rookie Alexander Mattinson, who I had Lee Marks, his running back coach from Boise State, on a few months ago. I thought he played pretty well. I think he's going to be a good complement to Dalvin Cook. Now, Dalvin's going to get a lot of the workload this year. We know that. But Mattinson is showing that he can also catch the ball pretty decently out of the backfield. I mean, he has pretty good hands. He caught the touchdown on the 1-yard line for that first drive on the first drive with the first team. You know, I thought that Sean Mannion came in. He is the clear number 2 now. I think people thought it was going to be Kyle Sloter, but Sean Mannion from LA, he actually really was throwing the ball well out there. 7 of 13, 102 yards and a touchdown. The 7th round pick from Colorado State, I don't know how to say his first name, Olabisi Johnson, he had a really nice fade route into the corner of the end zone. Sean Mannion really put a nice ball on him. He got hit as he threw too. So Tyler Conklin had a nice little screen pass. I like that. I like the tight end screens. I think that's a very good play. And I think the most underrated thing was Dan Bailey. Dan Bailey comes in 4 for 4. There's a lot of noise about the kicking situation during training camp, and that was obviously a concerning thing with the way this franchise kicks. But he came in 4 for 4, nothing, not. It's funny when you make extra points, as you should, and as you should make field goals, you don't hear nothing, and I'm not going to let that go by. I'm going to be appreciative of this. But if you start missing, I mean, it is the story of the day. The first team defense, it was okay. It wasn't great. It was okay. They ended up holding them to 3 on the first drive after a boatload of penalties. But I think that defensive line, the interior has to be able to put a little bit more pressure on the quarterback. You know the defensive ends in Griffin and Hunter, they're going to be able to get to the quarterback. I like the front 7. I think that Harry and Anthony Harris, they're going to be able to make some plays back there. A lot of this defensive success is predicated on the corners and their health, because you look at Xavier Rhodes and Trey Waynes, 2 guys that don't have the best health history, especially Xavier Rhodes. I remember it's like a meme now that whenever the Vikings practice, Xavier Rhodes is on that list that was not a full part, wasn't full part, and Trey Waynes is another one of those guys. So I think that the secondary is going to be a huge question mark if they don't stay healthy, because you also have guys like Mackenzie Alexander. Mike Hughes isn't exactly 100% from that ACL tear last year. There's going to be a lot of questions health-wise. I know what they are. I know that Xavier Rhodes and Trey Waynes are really good corners, but can they stay healthy? That's the biggest thing as we continue going on here into the preseason. They play Seattle next week. I cannot wait. I mean, I just cannot, not for the Seattle game, I just cannot wait until September 8th, man. You've been, Viking fans, myself, we have been waiting all off season, and it is just around the corner. Get through these next 3 games, injury-free. I know usually the third game, the starters play the most. Usually they play a quarter or 2, so we'll see how Zimmer approaches that. I personally would not even go near Dalvin Cook. I wouldn't even let him in the stadium at this point. You want him full go, 100%, no hits, nothing like that, going into week 1 against Atlanta. That's just my opinion. But we'll keep an eye on we'll obviously talk a little bit more about the preseason as we go forward. Matt Collar will probably come on next week, and we'll talk about that as we really start to approach cutting season as well. We'll see who lasts, who doesn't. I think Laquan Treadwell may be on the outside looking in. I mean, Lord knows he has had way too many chances. So that about does it here today. Big thanks to my producers, Brandon Morton, Matt Augusta, Jim Suhan, and Andy Greder for giving me the time today to talk about the Gopher football team. We will talk to you guys next Sunday here, only on TalkNorth.com, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, iTunes, all that good stuff here. Everyone enjoy their Sunday. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Be good, everybody.